What's up, YouTube family and the alkaline community? I hope I'm reaching out to you. I'd just like to talk about Dr. Sebi as an African, all right? From an African perspective. The first thing I'd like to say is this. Intuition, okay? Intuition. Have you ever wondered why birds find the seeds in your backyard when you sprinkle out seeds and then hours later you find birds in your backyard? Have you ever wondered how birds know how to build a nest, intricately weaving it, or bees build a honeycomb? There's a universal intelligence out there that's greater than we can imagine, right? Okay? And when it comes to herbs, when it comes to Dr. Sebi and herbs, it must be understood that when some people look at a herb, they can tell its properties simply by looking at it, touching it, smelling it, feeling it, all right? I come from a world where this used to happen all the time. We took it for granted, you know. We had elders who would walk you through the bush and just show you, oh yeah, that herb is good for this, that herb is good for that. And we had no questions about how they knew or why they knew it. But one thing we knew is that they knew, right? And this is how healing happened within the community. Now, when it comes to Dr. Sebi, what I've noticed about him, and even if you watch videos of Ma, that's M-A-A, she's got a shop out in New York. She talks about healers being born. It's not something you learn, right? It's not understanding herbs naturally is not something you learn. You can learn stuff about herbs by reading books and stuff. Yes, because the knowledge is out there. But there is a natural intuitive process that goes into it that makes healers who they are. Dr. Sebi was no doubt one of these healers because he spoke of herbs from a totally different perspective than we can quantify in terms of our academic process, if you may put it that way. Now, for those who don't believe in what he taught, don't believe in what he says, well, that be that. You know, it is what it is. But like I said, from an African perspective, he struck me as no oddity in society. He struck me as a great man with great knowledge who gave it freely. Mark this, he gave it freely. He put all his ingredients on his products. Okay, there's got to be a catch to that, okay? Firstly, he spoke of his products openly and freely. He answered every question thrown to him, giving the remedy to it freely, right? Now, why I mentioned that is because if he was solely into business, there'll be a problem with giving your formula out to people so that they can put together those herbs themselves, don't you think? All right. Now, I go back to intuition again. Now, if you see the amount of video footage that Dr. Sebi left behind, you gotta say to yourself, there's something behind this, all right? In my reasoning, he intuitively knew he had to put out the information out there so it becomes an idea, okay? Now, an idea, no, actually, let me start from the physical body. Now, you can harm the physical body, you can terminate the physical body, you can transform the physical body, but you cannot harm an idea, all right? So, Dr. Sebi transformed all his knowledge into an idea. The idea that you can watch a video, activate the information, and have transformation. Now, I mentioned intuition. He intuitively knew that he has to get that information out. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You could watch all his videos and learn a lot about herbs. Close your browser, go do some research, and you'll find that it checks out. All right. So, to all the naysayers, I would like to say, oh well, to each their own. To all those who support the movement, support the idea, I say to you, imagine what your senses would be if you're coated in plastic. All right, you'd miss the gentle breeze because the plastic shields it. You'd miss the intensity of the sun because the plastic shields it, and you would not breathe right because the plastic shields you. Right? The plastic I'm talking about is all this commercial food and these chemicals we put into ourselves. The unnatural is the plastic. Now, when you're on a natural tangent, you become more intuitive. Remember as a kid how you would get a funny feeling that you shouldn't walk down some alley, or you shouldn't go to some part of the playground, or just had a feeling that you shouldn't do something, and then you probably went ahead and did it, and then things went wrong? Or do you remember a moment when you were in your house or your flat and you looked at something, maybe a piece of paper with information on it, and you just caught your eye, and you picked it up, maybe you didn't, but later on in the day you found that you needed it? Intuition. Now, I mention intuition because it happens in the natural sphere, right? The more connected you are to nature, the less uh, infiltrated you are by all these commercial products that are unnatural, the more intuitive you become, right? The more you know, right? So I just like to say, big up to Dr. Sebi once again. Big up to the Alkaline family. Big up to the young philosophers out there, young and old, red pill, blue pill, young pharaoh. And if you know of any others I should be watching right now, please hit me up in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching. This is Victor on the Let Me Explain show, and I hope I find you well. If I don't find you well, I hope you get well. Peace.